Hello, party people of the world. You're back with Danny and Evan on the first cut. The first cut. The first cut. What's up, Evan?
Yeah, man. What up?
How's it going, Evan?
Rocket Man.
Yeah, dude, that was fun. Today, Evan, what are we doing today? What is it?
It's
Get on
swing / electro / electro swing.
Sweet, dude.
/ electro swing.
Yeah, let's waste no time getting into it, even though my computer's being an asshole. First pick, Chap, Odd One Out album, and the track Genesis.
Je ne sais quoi.
Evan, how you been, buddy?
Just fine.
You sure?
Yeah.
How sure?
2.
It's not very sure.
2 or 3.
Unless it's like 2 out of 3, maybe. Then I guess that's pretty sure. Like a good hip hop start. Not very swing, but we're gonna get there. Some of these things get a little fringe territory. I mean, we like to play fast and loose. It still has some those strings feel a little like in the territory, but like I said, we're gonna get there.
It's gonna roll around. Yes. So, electro swing. It came to me
in a dream.
Well, it came to me in a car ride home.
I remember that. I was there.
Yes.
Who was driving?
I don't care. So, anyways, so electro. I guess I want to get away from rock just for a minute. Take a little step out, and yes, I realized that we both really like Caravan Palace.
Yes, sure enough.
And they're really cool and great, and I'm sure most people have heard of them, because they're pretty big.
Well, I mean, yeah, at the very least, their song "Lone Digger."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I realized how much I liked Caravan Palace and how long it took them to come out with a follow up to Robot Face.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, let's do it. Let's jump into electro swing.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those genres that's
swing.
That's quite niche.
Don't worry, I got your back.
It's quite niche, but it's also very commercially viable.
Yeah,
obviously.
For sure, absolutely.
And so it's just weird enough for us, but it's also just mainstream enough for us.
I mean, listen to this shit. Seriously, this could be used in so many real commercial applications. You could put it in a fucking the right kind of commercial very easily. Put it in a fucking movie scene where it's like, oh yeah, we're at this hip happening fucking bar that has somewhat of a old timey theme or whatever. Or whatever. There's so many fucking ways you could
put
use
it in
shit.
a tortilla and wrap it up.
Put it in a tortilla, wrap it up with
lunch.
a little fucking cream cheese and cranberry sauce. There's no reason you couldn't floss with it if you tried hard enough. I hear that it's not awesome for cleaning your ears with, but
I was cleaning my ears right now, boy.
Yeah, hell yeah. Clean as fuck, dog.
This fucking wind outside is gonna clean fucking the whole world.
That's okay. I hope so.
It's gonna cleanse the world of the non-believers.
Yeah, I'm praying for rain. I'm praying for tidal waves.
That's right. Cool.
Yeah, Tool is a band.
Cool.
I want to see the ground give way.
So yes, electro swing / swing / electro / swing electro / electro swing.
Right.
It's where it's at, man. It's where it's at, mate. And Odd Chap was an early pick, probably the first one I really kind of found on my journey. And
it's a good pick. It's a great pick.
It's a great pick. I mean, it's
I can get fucking down to this.
Yeah.
So well done, Odd Chap. Also, not to cut you off, this fucking album, granted, well, actually, never mind. I was going to say it's actually very recent. I don't think that's the case. It might be somewhat. Oh, my bad. I fucked up. I fucked that up. I'm sorry, people. Oh, look, it came right back. I don't think this is a like super recent. Oh yeah, okay, there we go. December 2018. So yeah, it's a little under a year old. 13 supports. I mean, like, that sucks. Like, fucking buy the album, man. It's sick. $10. You could be fucking bumping and, you know, shaking your fucking hips, getting down, fucking grinding all nice. Shit's where it's at.
And it.
I'm gonna play it for that purposes, I think.
Yes. It's a kitschy style of music, of course. It makes me think of course, the swinging 20s. I mean,
of course.
The Prohibition era,
right?
Which is great because I just
and all that shit.
Yeah, I love. I just love that shit. Like aesthetically, I love just like the idea of that era, and yeah, I'm super into it. And
I think it's pretty sick mixing like that older style with like a contemporary vibe. So it's got the contemporary beats with that older style, kind of like a really good like neoclassical, you know, in that vein. It's cool, man. It's really cool. I'm all about it. Go support Odd Chap. Go support the Odd Chaps of the world, even like Evan and I, we're kind of odd chaps. Support us, like, share, comment, all those fun things. But go buy this album.
Makes me think of like Steamboat Willie.
Yeah, dude.
Little Mickey Mouse skulking around like a little damn bastard.
Yeah, dude. He's like, oh, I gotta find my spinach.
Yeah.
Gotta take Popeye's spinach.
That's right. And yeah, it's big and thumping. So yes, it should be it should please the modern the Gen, what is it, what's the latest generation, Gen Y or some shit like that,
Gen Z,
that's right.
Which is funny because it was if you're going backwards, it was Gen Z, millennials, and then Gen X, so they totally skipped Gen Y.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And then of course the boomers.
So hey, it's like you could also like roll down the street and blast this kind of music, and like people will probably bat an eyelash.
If you wanted to lure some Gen Zs into your van,
I just do that with a lasso.
Yeah, true. Evan has a candy-covered lasso. It's not very effective, but it's a nerd's rope, I think, isn't it?
Yes.
With a little little lasso knot tied in it.
Yeah, hit the spot.
A nerd's rope. I could go for a nerd's rope.
Yeah.
I love those things. Those things are super good.
Delicious.
Yeah. I really need to fucking stop. I need to cut out the fucking sugar shit, man. They're yummy.
Yes. Same here.
Yeah.
Same here. Too much eggnog.
If you want, I get that you don't too much eggnog. I get that you don't watch YMH, but we could do a whole like fitness champion kind of contest thing. Let's say come February 1st, where
I have to wait that long to come.
Where did you get cum out of fitness?
Well, you said come February 1st.
Oh my god. Well, I didn't say you had to wait. You could just come on February 1st. You could come every day before then too. But fucking come February 1st on February 1st, you fucking prick.
And it sucks because I was like about to climax, so I had to stop and go all fucking blue balls.
Yeah. Well, I was saying on February 1st, we could just do like a fucking BFP between each other, and then do like a fucking weight loss kind of like goal oriented thing, and see who could lose more body fat percentage and like fat shame each other along the way.
This podcast is NSFW, by the way.
Yeah. I think that'd be kind of fun. They do that. That's a big thing between fucking on YMH. They talk about a lot is fucking Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer, who are really good friends. They fat shame the fuck out of each other. I think that'd be pretty fun.
Those two remind me of like
Tom Segura.
They
and Bert Kreischer.
both those guys strike me as like they're like the missing link between like like fucking silverback gorillas.
Jesus Christ.
They're
Bert Kreischer for sure. Hashtag Bert is fat. But see, that's what I mean is we can make this whole campaign about like, are you on Team Danny or are you on Team Evan? And we fat shame the fuck out of each other and try to just like lose as much weight and see who fucking wins. And we can put some kind of crazy bet on it.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, I was.
We'll talk more about it off camera.
Yeah.
We'll come back.
I was expressing to some coworkers not that long ago that I'm fearful for my weight getting out of control because I've noticed that things are starting to like rotate around me because my gravity is getting so great.
Yeah, you are pretty fucking fat.
Yes.
Pretty worried about your health, if I'm being honest.
Mm-hmm.
When was the last time you saw your dick? It's been a while for me, if I'm being honest. No, it hasn't.
Well, I saw some pictures on the internet a while back that got spread around. So I was like very thankful for that.
I mean, like when you look down. How long has it been since you've looked down and seen your toes? It's been a while, I would imagine.
I sold my toes a while back for her.
Oh, that's fair.
For her.
Did you do that whole Tim and Eric thing where you just decided you didn't want them anymore and you fed them to Bob Odenkirk?
I fed them to Bob Odenkirk. Yeah. Well, fed them to is like not really the case. More of he creeped into my room at night and just ate them without my consent. And then
have you seen that episode?
Oh,
you know
of course.
what I'm talking
Oh
about?
hell yeah,
Okay.
I've seen that.
I don't want my toes anymore. Cuts them off, eats them. Of course, belly full of toes. I want to go back and watch that. That shit was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it's like
Really surreal.
yeah, surreal horror. Like
Yeah. It was really good. Yeah, man. Bedtime stories. That shit was where it was at. Fucking, I like the one where they brought in a fucking John C. Reilly and they like made him out to be like a baby. And everybody was like fucking calling him a baby. And he's like, I'm not a baby. That was pretty funny.
yeah, I don't remember that one.
Well, that was so. The thing was he saw like an infomercial. It was for like Be a Baby or something. Where the thing was like, yeah, give us like $200, and then someone's gonna come over and they're gonna help you like be a baby. It's like super. It helps relieve your stress and shit, and blah blah blah. And it's just it'll be like perfect if you like the world.
Well, doesn't he like call and they're just like, okay, we'll be over soon, and he's like, what the hell?
Yes, and then they come and take all of his stuff and leave him with like a diaper and a fucking pacifier or something, and then he like winds up like going to a fucking diner. Like I think he like winds up thinking it was like some kind of like weird like fucking fever dream or something. And he goes to a diner or whatever, and he orders like a bowl of soup, and the lady like starts calling him like a fucking baby or whatever. He's like, I'm not a baby, and she's like, yeah, all right. And then he winds up like fucking like dying because he can't accept the reality.
Mm-hmm.
It was fucking crazy.
Yeah. So my favorite
Yeah, I
one
missed
was
Angel Boy.
Was it? No, I mean that one was funny, kind of.
Pretty good.
But I think the one with the neighbor one. Where
yeah.
Tim,
Hey, you coming over to watch the fish later?
yeah, fish.
Yeah.
And that shit like to me like hits the nail on the head of like it's like, is this comedy or is this horror? I cannot tell.
Yeah, that one was fucking good. Well, like too when he like fucking digs the fucking grave, get in the hole,
On
Murph.
his parents, sorry.
Yeah, his fucking child shows up.
His
He's
family
like,
is like,
yeah, daddy. He just like waves goodbye to him or whatever as he's getting buried alive. Yeah. No, that was what was so amazing with that show is it was like so surreal that you're like, I don't know if I'm supposed to laugh.
Yeah.
Like I kind of want to, but like.
Yeah, that shit was awesome.
Yeah.
They're great. Tim and Eric are great.
Not as good as Eric Andre. No, they're all just great. No, like,
Yeah. Well, it's funny because like Tim and Eric. Okay, so Eric Andre is great, but he is like obviously very NSFW.
that's true.
Not safe for life in some.
Yeah, seriously.
But like Tim and Eric are a lot more like family friendly, so to speak. But they're just so like fucking
I think
annoying
they're
to
like-
so many people.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think they're fringe because a lot of the shit they do is definitely not family friendly at all. But that's the thing is like I think it's just kind of like a coincidence of the scene that they're creating as to whether it will or won't be NSFW. Because like Pizza Boy is a big one. Pizza Boy is not fucking family friendly at all.
I don't remember that one.
This is the one where there's like this chick changing in the locker room. I shouldn't say chick.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I brought your pizza, and she's like, yeah, with extra. It's clearly
Touchdown
like,
downstairs.
yeah, it's supposed to be set up like a fucking porn, and then
Yeah.
she goes to take his pants off, and he's a fucking mannequin.
Yeah.
with no penis. So what am I supposed to do
Kendall.
with this thing? He goes, hey, there's several ways a man and a woman can show their love for each other without having sexual intercourse. And then he like sings a song about like romantic relations that are completely non-sexual, which is really funny. But obviously the setup is like, holy shit, am I gonna have to like ask my parents to leave for a minute?
Yes. I think specifically though, like I put on the Grum shit like
Oh yeah,
not that long ago in
I
my
like
home.
crackers and snacks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
we talked about that on Thanksgiving.
my fiance was like, turn this off.
She says that about fucking everything though.
Maybe.
Not the Great British Baking Show.
Yeah.
Whoopee!
Whoopee. What the hell?
It was in the song. Did you hear it?
Oh, well, I think my headphones are doing that thing again. They're kind of funky. I think I'm missing some stuff, but it sounds pretty cool.
Okay.
But yes.
It might just be ear cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you have ear cancer.
Hopefully.
Maybe it's all the fat in your ear. Oh.
Yes. So anyhow, yeah, it's cool. Anything else about the music that strikes me as interesting from New Zealand? You can't pick on people from New Zealand.
Yeah, a bunch of Kiwis.
Yeah, Kiwis.
It's really funny to me that Kiwi is like not only like an accepted but seemingly like celebrated term.
Oh yeah, it's like they're informal yet like very unwritten.
And I love that, to be honest. But like it feels like something when you say it like it wouldn't be. You're like, no, it's cool. Oh,
I could go for
okay.
fucking Kiwi.
Yeah,
that'd be
Kiwi
so
sound
delicious.
really good.
And like the little fuzz and all. I love that fuzzy shit.
You eat it?
Yeah,
Ew.
big time.
What the fuck?
Delicious. It's just like so like firm and like delicious. It's like the essence of a kiwi. Yeah.
Wow. Don't you feel like that's kind of like almost cannibalistic because they're super hairy and you're super hairy?
You are what you eat.
Yeah. And with that, Evan, you think you're ready to move on and not talk about eating fur?
Let's move on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Back in a second, people. All right, people. Shall we begin? Is the name of the first track on this album by the Gaslight Troubadours, Stranger Swings. Shall we begin? I say we shall. Let's shall.
Begin.
Featuring Lil Nas X.
Shut up, Evan. Lil Neil X. Well, actually, it just says Neil X. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, this shit was. This is a real treat to discover, for it to fling out of my my speakers. Cause yeah, this is like it's like obviously very faithful to electro swing sound, but I like it's a little bit darker and like more like trip hop oriented, almost like Portishead or something.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, it's just like electro swing and chill kind of,
Just swing and chill.
And yeah, so if anyone wants to do that with me,
I got you.
hit me on Timber. I'm just joking.
Jesus Christ. It's like Tinder, but for lumberjacks.
For lumberjacks. For hairy men. Lumberjacks or hairy men. But not both. If you're a lumberjack, you have to be like Michael Phelps. Squeaky.
God, this stuff is fucking gross.
Let me give it a little shot.
This fucking energy drink tastes like a goddamn Necco wafer.
Rip it.
Yeah,
Shut
yeah,
up with the
it's
frog
fucking
bullshit.
It's fucking dollar store caffeine.
That's yummy.
No, it's not.
Yes, I see you.
Damn, dude. Yeah, it's like
Still far
rock
away.
and roll.
What is?
It's just that guitar tone for a
Oh
second.
yeah.
This is so vibey, it's sick. I hate that I use
pretty cool.
like fucking millennial ass words like that, vibey and chill and shit like that. But, hey, whatever.
You
It's about to
are-
be 20.
You are a millennial.
Yeah. Almost 2020.
I think it's more like it like lit is more of a like a Gen Z.
Yeah, you know, I've been thinking about like 2019. Like
Yeah.
what are the top like 5 words that represent like young American culture, the Gen Z or the
lit is
millennial.
way up there.
Yeah, like lit, chill vibes, fam, that kind of thing.
If I say this one, can we bleep it out? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god, this guy.
No. Yeah, I mean, lit and fam are really the only 2 big ones that I can think of, just because I think I try to like subtract myself from generational thinking. I don't know. You know?
Snapchat. That's another thing that kids say.
Snatch.
Snatch that Snapchat from Pack
Oh,
Rat.
yeah, go for it. No, let's hear it. Evan, you freestyle.
Put
this
the
shit.
bat tap, man, tap, bat, I just did gibberish because I'm too scared that I'd actually say something like fucked up. So
No, I'd really love to hear that. I think that'd be great for our ratings too.
here we go.
Wait. I can only say wait so many times. I'm gonna say wait for the next song to start because the song's almost over.
Yeah, but that was because like I can't freestyle for that long, so that, like the last 10 seconds would be like ideal for me.
Yeah, but you know, you could give it your best. See,
Okay.
now it's almost over. So just wait for the next song to start, and then you can feel it, and then go. It's featuring Tom Robinson, and you know it's good because it's featuring Tom Robinson.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. Just gotta get into it, I think.
Nope,
Oh, wow.
already someone singing. Thanks, Tom.
Yeah, well, there you go. He saved you. Maybe some other time.
Sounds like Jeremy Clarkson.
Masons, Ark of the Covenant, Knights of Columbus, Illuminati, pulling the strings behind every party, covert surveillance, spooks and spies,
Nice.
handshakes, old school ties, mainstream media.
I like it.
I
like it a lot.
Pretty fun. Also, this band has pretty low support too. Not nearly as much as the last artist, but still definitely low enough that like y'all should check it out. Just saying.
It's almost like it's like cool. It's like electro swing, but it's also like it's like a Goosebumps vibe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Readers beware. You're in for a scare. Spooky. Electro spook.
Yeah,
That could be
dude.
like racist though, so maybe I should.
Jesus. Spook.
I wish I feel like I didn't have to like say that I don't mean that in a racist way,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
but
I get it.
that's the world, I guess.
It's better to just be careful.
Yeah.
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 Blank walls. The dining room. Kitchen beyond. Pots and pans.
I'm fucking tired today. I don't know why. I'm super tired.
Ooh.
I wonder when this album came out. Sorry, I'm yawning. Wish I could stop. October 31st, 2018, so a little over a year ago.
assassination, 9/11, secret agents, Marilyn carrying Kennedy's baby.
These are great lyrics. Oh my god. I didn't realize, like, in my cursory first listen, like, how, like, actually, like, interesting. This is, like, totally, like, picking on those among us who wear their tinfoil hats.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I just couldn't tell if they were like being jokey or sincere,
Well,
to be honest.
but yeah, I mean, when you have a song that says, like, oh, it's all one big conspiracy, that suggests to me that like, no new taxes. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
That they're like picking on people who are like, it's like, oh, how extreme it is to believe that, like, that letter I just read, or that holiday card.
Right. Oh yeah. The one from Chelsea's Work, the guy who wrote about how John Lennon was assassinated and Paul McCartney had some shit to do with it, and also like, I mean, you just read the thing. I'm not a fucking expert. I don't remember it, but you know, it was pretty out there. Had a lot to do with a lot of things. The Sound of Music was secretly a fucking like fucking sleeper activation. I just made that up. That's not a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Evan,
Huh?
talk about something. Wait, you could totally try to freestyle over this.
Okay.
There ain't nothing going on.
Okay. Let's get this person in the booth.
All right. The pretty fucking conservative quote. But, oh, well.
Damn it!
Is this
Keith?
Bill Callahan?
Hopefully. Keith, I was trying to come in on this.
Maybe after like a few songs we can go back to Shall We Begin and see if you got it.
Should have made me swing.
Should have made him swing.
I can just imagine being in like a swing bar in the 20s, like with airs filled with cigarette smoke and
I love that.
yeah, gin
I like
and
the smell of
tonics all
cigarettes.
around.
Oh yeah, I could go for a gin and tonic right now.
Yeah.
My liver
Yeah.
and my kidneys sting. Every drink is like a big
Yeah.
This reminds me of that one song you used to listen to a lot. What was it? Something about a cat. The cat something shuffle or boogie or something.
Stray Cats,
There
Stray
we
Cat
go.
Strut
There it is.
by Brian Setzer.
There you go.
Stray Cats.
Do you get that vibe at all, or am I way out
Yeah,
of
yeah,
fucking
to a degree. Because I mean, he of course fucks around with like a rockabilly thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, this all comes from the same like root. I mean, it's all like
Yeah, dude.
swing and rockabilly. I mean, they have a common ancestor. So
Can't say your words.
Yeah, true.
Can't feel my tongue. I can't decide if that's better.
it's all just really based on like how much the individual person hates themselves. If you hate yourself, you get into rockabilly.
Alright.
If you have self-respect, you get into swing.
Yeah.
Swing.
It's gonna put a real damper on our next list, which is rockabilly. Yeah, thank you for that.
I'm gonna be sick for that.
Yeah.
That day, which we don't even know what day it is, but that day I'm gonna
I'm gonna be having my stomach removed. for
Yeah,
that.
I'm actually having my stomach removed. Thank you.
Yeah. Do you want some more of this, by the way?
I actually like rockabilly. Yeah. Yeah, I like
I
rockabilly.
turn my tub and my sink into a homemade killing machine. I call my Jennifer Spring.
Damn. All right. I was thinking about mixing some of that with some vodka.
No way.
That'd be pretty good, I think. Like a vodka soda.
Yeah.
Maybe after this.
Reminds me of Tom Waits.
Yeah, I was just
I
thinking
feel like
that
that's
too.
contrived to say, but hey,
Tom Waits is a cool guy.
Tom Waits is great.
Yeah, he
Love
played
Tom Waits.
the devil in The Imaginarium
Correct.
with Dr. Parnassus. You've seen that movie, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, it's a
one
really
of the
good
few
movie.
movies I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's pretty good, I think.
Yep.
I would say. You want to talk about Tom Waits?
Yes.
Great voice.
Great voice. Amazing artist. Very influential. I mean, I haven't really like dipped too far into his full body of work, but yes, he is an undeniable influence on just like many different artists and like generations of artists. I mean, he's a great musician, and obviously he's a multi-talented. I mean, he acts, and he I'm sure he has other interesting creative
really
endeavors.
Fun idea.
Yes.
Can you think of any like major artists that you know are really influential that not that you've never cared for, but that you've never listened to?
Boner Jones.
Joner Bones? No, seriously though. Like, I mean, there's plenty of people realistically, like, well, not plenty, but a handful at least that you'd say like, well, you know, like, I really enjoyed Bob Dylan's like earlier songs or whatever, and somebody would be like, oh yeah, I'm not familiar with Bob Dylan. Like, I think there's hardly anyone who has no idea who Bob Dylan is, unless you live literally under a very large rock. But there's certainly several people who've never heard him.
So wait, what, reframe the question for me again, real quick.
Okay, one sec.
That's a good frame. What aspect ratio is that?
Yeah. 1920 1080.
This way, I think.
So artists who you have heard of, right? They're very prolific, and it could be from any era. But artists who you've heard of, but you've never taken the time to listen to. You're like, I know they're very prolific, I just haven't found the time.
Oh God!
I have no interest in listening to.
Yeah. Okay.
I could start if you want.
Go for it.
Elvis Costello.
Yeah. Okay.
Never listened to him.
Yeah. I've only listened to his first like few albums, which I think are really good. But you know, he's done a lot of work recently with Roots.
Okay.
Was doing a lot of.
I like Roots.
Yeah. He's good. I like him. I mean, it's.
I have nothing against the guy, but that's the thing is I have no frame of reference for the kind of music he makes, so I can't even be like, oh yeah, I think I would like it. I think I would. I have no idea.
The early stuff is just like power pop, like
okay,
and like sort of
like who would you say maybe he kind of sounds like?
Kind of like probably a lot like Badfinger and like
yeah, I know them a little bit
and like I'm trying to think of that the band Cheap Trick, like
okay.
And so you know your mileage may vary definitely. That's gonna be the next drinking game is me saying that. Okay.
No, it's not.
No, I
already know what the next one is.
But I'm just saying at some point.
Another band I'll say while I'm still thinking about it, because I know this is a band that you very much enjoy, or artist I guess I should say, is Sufjan Stevens. Never listened to him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love Sufjan. And his body of work is fucking huge. Like
and
the guy is.
I've heard like little here and there's of Sufjan, and every time I've heard his music, I'm like, this is probably nice, but I've just never taken the time to actually listen to him.
Yeah.
You recently just started listening to Dave Matthews.
Yes.
That was a big one.
Yeah, that would have been one of those ones that it could, like, if you asked me like 6 months ago, yeah, I would have been like, nope. Yeah, Dave Matthews, never heard anything by him except for like the big hits. But it's like now it's like, yes, I love Dave Matthews, man. That guy is yeah, he kicks ass. He's an amazing songwriter and amazing musician.
I'm not a big Dave Matthews fan. That's fine, but
yeah, his especially when you start getting into his deeper cuts and stuff, like yeah, he has a lot of like interesting musical specialties. And he's a great lyricist. All that stuff.
Right.
Well, I do declare.
And let's see. So maybe I can think of something independently myself.
Yeah.
Let's see. Big, popular, famous that I never really thought to jump been to for a very long time in my life. I could say that for the Beatles. I mean, up until I was probably like 20 years old.
Yeah, I grew up with the Beatles, but that's the thing is like I grew up with the Beatles thinking like if you'd have asked me at like 16, like yeah, so what are the big Beatles songs like that you know and you really gravitate towards? I mean, I Hey Jude, Come Together. It was all of the radio hits because that's the shit that like my dad would show me when I was a kid. But I wouldn't have been able to tell you like anything from Yellow Submarine, anything from Sgt. Pepper or anything. And now, honestly, yeah, like I think of so many of those songs, like When I'm 64 and With a Little Help from My Friends. Like those are my favorite songs. Those are some of my favorite songs from that era in general, nonetheless from the Beatles. But I never heard them when I was a kid.
Yes.
They're super good.
Yeah, I feel like I'm genuinely having trouble. Like,
I honestly only was able to really think of a couple, and then I thought of ones where I'm like, I vaguely know them, but not.
I guess I could say like The Grateful Dead or something. I guess.
Yeah, I've never listened to the Grateful Dead.
I know, yeah, actually that's a perfect example because like I never listened to the Grateful Dead. I couldn't honestly name a song they've done.
I couldn't name a song.
But I know that there are people out there who are so fucking diehard fans that they would like they would gladly die like while listening to their music and spend every waking second of their lives like consuming their music.
The big two that popped into my head was like Cat Stevens and Neil Diamond, but then I remember like, well, I've heard both of them, I just haven't heard that much of them, and I can't really fully remember what they sound like, but I have heard them for sure. Yeah, that's weird. It's weird thinking of like, what's this really big band I've never heard, but I've heard of.
That's tough to say, yeah.
That's why I thought it'd be kind of a fun topic. Because typically when I'm like, I hear of a band, I'd be like, well, I want to know what they sound like. So
we should do a list of bands we've never heard.
Yeah. Am I going to kill myself now, or are you going to kill yourself? Because I don't think we can both go on living after that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the rules state that the younger person goes first. So,
that's Greppus.
Yeah. Oh, goodbye. Damn, maybe before we're done with this artist and move on, I could actually think of like...
Yeah, I was going to say, I really want to come up with a couple, and then we'll go back to the first song to see if you can get a solid freestyle, and then we'll move on. We'll fade out on your freestyle. And it's funny because I can think of ones that I'd be like, what about this? But like, that kind of defeats the purpose.
Well, shoot, maybe it'll inspire me to.
Well, I started thinking like in the territory of like punk rock. So like Suicidal Tendencies, the Sex Pistols.
Yeah, I would say those definitely.
You've never heard them?
Well, okay, yeah, not that I've never heard them. And plus, Sex Pistols only had one fucking... They were not prolific by any means. They had one goddamn album.
Yeah, I guess that's true. They were pretty fucking popular, though.
They were really popular, but they lasted for, like, almost literally an instant and then went away.
True. And it's funny, too, because naturally when I think of, like... When I think of punk rock, the two big ones that I think of are Black Flag and Minor Threat. But I get that that's not necessarily indicative for like, well, that's what everybody thinks of. Like, and there's some people who'd be like, well, I think of like the Misfits and the Ramones, but everyone's fucking heard of the Misfits and the Ramones. What was the other one? Oh, the Dead Kennedys.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Jello Biafra.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you ever listened to Coldplay?
I never heard of it. Next question.
All right, perfect. Milo Xyloto.
I thought of something.
Yeah, do it. Library.
I'm having a hard time remembering his name. It's like an electronic artist, a really famous electronic artist.
Marshmello?
Nope. from like the late 90s, early
Are you
2000s.
thinking? Well, I was gonna say Avicii, but
No.
Deadmau5.
No. He was like an IDM artist or whatever.
Intelligent dance music.
Yeah. God. See, I can't even think of like an album of his. I remember he had album covers where he's like in a bikini and it's like his face plastered onto like a supermodel's body or something. And like it's a weird like thing he did.
Yeah, that's vaguely ringing a bell, but smash that like button if you've ever breathed.
Yeah, obviously.
I have no fucking idea.
Um,
You could always try and remember and then scream it on the next pick.
Yeah, it might come down to that.
Okay.
We've been expecting you.
Rascal Flats.
Rascal Flats. No.
Brad Paisley.
Montgomery Gentry.
Yeah, there you go. Those are more of like, hey, if you listen to these people, like obviously they're not serious guesses, but Brad Paisley's okay. I'm not a fan, but his music isn't dog shit. For modern country, I think that's saying a lot for me.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah, 30 seconds.
The Hay Track. There you go.
Yeah.
I bet I could think actually of like a lot of rappers actually, now that I think about
Do you
it.
remember Aaron Carter? Good night, everybody.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember actually several of his songs.
Fucking Lil Bow Wow.
Yeah.
Man, the 90s were a crazy time, huh? Those 9 zeros. The 1990s. All right, you ready to try and freestyle?
Yeah, sure.
All right, get your head right.
Okay.
Ready? Get psyched up.
Okay.
Get that fucking energy going. Get your brain juices working. Here we go.
Uh-huh.
Shall we begin?
Shall we?
Begin?
Turn up the snare.
The future.
Come on.
Isn't that
Get
why
that
you came?
person in the booth.
Can't hear the snare. Okay. Look. That's an awfully hot coffee pot.
All right. You want to take a real shot at it? That's an awfully hot coffee pot. Should I pour it out on Donald Trump? Probably not.
But that's all I got till I come up with a solid plot.
I think you're right, yeah.
They bleeped that out for some reason. Anyways. Okay, here we go. Listen. Okay. Someone get this person in the booth.
Someone
Okay.
get these big words in the booth.
Okay. Look. Okay. So, I'm not the kind of rapper that will talk about shit like inappropriate stuff, but I like to talk about stuff that I think is interesting.
Yeah.
I don't really like pushing my views on other people, but you know, I'm actually pretty easygoing. If you try to talk to me, I'm like, hey, and you know, come through and come hang out with me.
Please hang out with me.
Aphex Twin.
Jesus Christ.
It was
Okay.
Aphex Twin.
Right, yeah. The band you couldn't remember. Artist, you know the one. We have Denielle Bassels. What about Woolwish Bags? The album. The first track, I'll Go Your Way. This is our last pick of the evening. This is real nice. So this is definitely not electro swing, which is why we had to clarify, but still real pretty. You know what I mean? Evan, you know what I mean?
Playing it fast and loose as we do.
Yeah.
Loosey goosey.
You think for maybe this one pick, this one time, we could be safe for work? I have a feeling in my gut that she's probably not too crazy about profanity and all that lewd talk and stuff. So maybe just like chill.
Absolutely.
Cool, dude.
I have no problems with that.
Perfect.
Yeah, lately I just don't like to go there anyway. I don't like to
What do you
be
mean?
so
crass.
So crass and nasty and vulgar. Even though I just like made a joke earlier about like masturbation or something. But hey, hey, you know, all jokes.
Chips and beer battered cod, very nice.
Yes,
I like those things too.
It sounds absolutely delicious. Actually,
You know what sounds really good? Going up to other word Bayou on the Bay and getting some fried catfish.
I wouldn't mind
fried
that at
green
all.
tomatoes.
Yeah.
Maybe a nice Cajun Bloody Mary.
I could. Yeah, I would do that in a heartbeat. It sounds fucking delicious.
Very nice.
Fudging delicious.
Yes, yeah,
Well,
literally
I don't
about to
think
make the
saying
joke.
fuck is crass or like if we're talking about like you know
It's not
like
very
fucking
safe for work though.
Thanksgiving dinner table, I guess, but
That's kind of what I was trying to go for. Yeah, it's a nice clean vibe. I thought maybe we'd be clean people for a minute, but that's okay.
yeah, a little yeah, well, you know
You know how it goes.
So anyways, electro swing. This is obviously not electro. We're not dealing with the electro side of things here, but you know, we got a nice palate cleanser for the end of the list because yes, our last couple picks were kind of big thumping, you know, kind of trap, kind of trip hop, big beats and big topics with the last one, and that's awesome. I love it. It's beautiful and dark. This is very like halcyon and like you know, breezy. I love it.
I can't believe you've never listened to Aphex Twin.
Yeah, I mean, I've listened to my twin,
That's but
I haven't listened to Aphex.
wait, hang on. Your twin's name, his middle name is Aphex.
Yes, true.
What gives?
Yeah. Well, Aphex Twin. Let's see. Okay, I bought a CD of his one time actually,
Okay.
and I never plopped it in the old CD player. I don't necessarily know the reason. I guess maybe
You should.
maybe because electronic is not like what I go for. It's not my preferred brand of soft drink. I like that better than cup of tea. I'm gonna try to.
I like that,
move away
yeah.
from it. So you know, you got your Dr. Pepper, you got your Mr. Pibb, you got your
Aphex Twin.
Pepsi, you got your this and that.
Hey, yeah.
And so,
I
yeah,
think the first two you referenced were like the same thing.
Royal
You got
Crown.
You got your Dr. K, you got your Dr. Pepper, you got your Dr. Shasta, you got your Mount Nasty, you've got your...
Mountain Nasty. Oh lordy, got your Game Fuel.
That's Mountain Dew, yeah. Mount Nasty. That stuff is disgusting.
So, yeah, so like, you know, the idea of like me sitting down and popping in like a purely, like faithfully electronic music artist into the tape deck or the CD player or whatever is like, it takes some effort from my part. You know, I've actually bought like a Flying Lotus album before and I really like it.
I love Flying Lotus.
And I think it's really, really good.
Yeah, dude.
But it's just like, it's definitely not what I go for, you know, first thing.
Well, and
so,
you like Locust Toy Box, right? But that's by
Yeah.
proxy, isn't it? Really, just because like you're a big fan of the.
well, I do like it. I guess, yeah. I guess if you want to say by proxy, sure. But like, I probably would like listen to his music a lot more if I mean, you know, if it's on like Apple Music or something.
Sure.
But
Yeah, I was gonna say.
because I really like the electronic music that I do go for that I really like. Is like the Richie Barbieri stuff and like and like
oh man, can we talk about how
the-
wonderful that album is for
like
a minute?
the
Planet's
atmospheric
Persona?
shit. Like
Ooh.
that shit is great because it's like that stuff is great because
There you go. I was
because
gonna say something.
because it's like really atmospheric, but also there is a lot of stuff going on there.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
That you can really dive into. And you know what? People have said that about Aphex Twin, so maybe I
Yeah.
should give them a chance. I
Yeah.
guess. But
It's just darker. I mean, it's not like the same thing, but darker. But yeah, it's similar but darker. Well, Barbieri gets a little dark too.
I only listened to 10
depending on the song.
seconds of the Aphex Twin album, and I didn't like it because it starts out and he's like, "Listen to me, I'm Aphex Twin. Listen."
Oh yeah, you picked up. I know what one you're talking about. I can't think of it. He's like, "Listen to me, I'm Aphex Twin."
Yeah, and
I don't have a twin. Bet you wish I did.
I'm just like, this is not even music, you know?
Yeah, that's true. That's just literal whining. You know, Drake had a similar experience with Converge. So I remember talking to him a while ago.
Converge?
Well, okay, so hang on. I remember talking to him, and I said, like, we were talking about Converge, and this might have been on this podcast that we were talking about it when we had him on for Grindcore. I think that was because we were talking about Dark Habits and their Cave Paintings album, which I actually bought that one just for reference, or I downloaded it. I don't know if I bought it or downloaded it. I have it. That's the point. Which I get those are still two different statements, not the point. But I was talking to him, and I said, yeah, this kind of reminds me a bit of Converge. And he's like, oh yeah, I never really got into Converge. I was like, really? I thought that would have been like right in your wheelhouse. And he's like, you know, funny enough, I have one of their albums, and I've tried listening to it, and it just doesn't do anything for me. And I said, what album do you have? And he said, Jane Doe.
Damn.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Like Jane
that
Doe
would be
is
the one
is
to
a
try to get him into it.
masterpiece. Yeah. But then here's the thing. I showed him that song, I Can Tell You About Pain. And he's like, this is incredible. I was like, yeah, this is that band that you don't like.
That's like
He's
their,
like, yeah, I
that's
gotta
like their
give him a
latest
chance.
one, isn't it?
I don't think it's their latest one, but I think it's like the second latest. It's very recent. Yeah.
Yeah, because I noticed with their latest one, they went for actually quite a different sound.
Yeah, it's really sick.
They went for like a much more melodic, like kind of like the way Dillinger Escape Plan. Like in their later years, they became like more, just more accessible, but like in a good way. I mean, they still retained their sound, but they started actually like writing songs instead of just slabs of, slabs. Slab City.
Yeah, I like Dillinger. I like Dillinger a lot.
I was just thinking. I was thinking the other day.
What's up?
What you got? Well, I wanted to start writing. I had an interesting topic for a Larry time.
Larry time. Wow, dude. That's something I haven't heard in a while.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I don't know why the hell this thought just came into my head, but
yeah,
but I guess
it'd probably be a little conservative. I'm not really sure I want to let the world on to Larry time yet, but I still want to talk about what you're talking about. So let's just say it's whatever you're about to say almost definitely is going to be a short story.
Yeah,
and we'll refer to it as an LT from here. LT for Larry time. This will be the referential thing. If you ever hear Evan and I say LT in any preceding anything, podcasts or this episode or whatever, is what we're talking about. Short stories for Larry time. Anyways, Evan, please continue.
Well, so
how's Larry doing?
So he died.
Oh.
So
I guess his time was up.
So the idea of a Larry time, or the idea of it's just like a parody of like a creepypasta. So like
well, that's what you're gonna do.
A ghastly macaroni.
Ghastly macaroni,
as some people.
Oh, okay, I get you. Yeah, creepypasta. I gotcha.
So
very nice.
So the idea is that it's really goofy, but it's also me trying to like flex another muscle of mine creatively.
Yeah, dude. That's the reason I did them.
Because I figure that's like, why not write a funny, goofy story? Because I'm so insecure about like my own writing style that I'm like, hey, I'll write something that's intentionally bad with the idea that maybe it'll actually be kind of good, and then I can just be like, hey, it was supposed to be bad.
Yeah,
if
absolutely.
You criticize it.
Right.
So
that's sort of the way I went about it. I just wrote about like drugs and sex and just made it in the most ridiculous way possible. To me, like when I wrote mine, they were kind of like somewhat akin to like the whole like Shrek is love, Shrek is life thing. Mm-hmm. Anyways, Evan, I'm cutting you off. Please continue.
I think the idea I was going to go with.
Yeah. So, anyways, no,
Hey.
please go ahead.
That's okay.
That's
Is actually kind of like referential to a gag we did on the podcast recently.
okay.
So the idea is that I met the devil. So I met the devil, and this is like this music kind of makes me think of like like a 1920s swinging devil. He's like moving back and forth.
Some shit in my teeth.
Yeah.
Not literal shit. Anyways, continue. Popcorn kernel or something.
And it turns out that he's actually pretty damn good at Wii golf.
Okay.
And if anyone here has played Wii golf,
Wii
thumbs
golf.
up. Thumb
Oh yeah.
thumb
Okay.
us?
Oh, yeah. Like Wii Sports, but like that. Okay.
Yeah. So Wii golf. And he's like actually pretty good at it. I mean, definitely, I wouldn't say that he's like extremely good or like the best, but he's pretty good. And so I want to write a story around that, and I have 5 books planned.
Jesus.
I'm trying to get a publisher on board. I've been
submitted to Penguin.
Yeah, I think Penguin is gonna accept my offer.
Yeah, probably.
But also Harvard Press, I think, is another.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah, that's the idea. That's the idea.
So when is Intro 3 coming?
Intro 3 will never come out
Why?
because
What? Why? Intro 3. Hang on. You started writing Intro 3. You wrote like 3 sentences of it, and it was the best.
what were the 3 sentences?
I'm not repeating them on here, but they were.
It was that good. Or
Yeah,
that bad?
it was that good.
Those pencils. Where did you get those
Okay,
pencils?
what do you mean? I got them at the dollar store. What does that have to do with anything? I was just like, there's a box of pencils. Where did those
Because I bought a
come
box
from?
of pencils and then I lost them, and I'm
No,
pretty sure you stole them from my house.
Yeah, I'm sure I did. Out of all of the nothing I've ever stolen from your house, I'm sure pencils are on that list.
Oh my god. Okay, so intro 3.
Wait. Oh yeah, sorry, go ahead. No, wait. Yeah, go ahead.
I want to take this time to say that intro 3 it
The
will
introning.
it will come out. Let's just give yourself a conservative estimate of, let's say, fall 2029.
All right. They're going to say fall 2021. I'm like, I think I could wait for that. Jesus, dude.
It's been 2 years.
So when you make your ghastly macaroni, would you read your story to the people when it's done? Question mark?
Yeah, absolutely. I intend to.
You should.
And it should be
will
safe for work. It should absolutely not be...
Oh, mine aren't. That's a huge part of why I'm not going to read them. They're also very telling of who I get when I just really, really fully let go and allow my outer recesses of my mind to become present. And not super proud about it.
You just said recess and present, which are things that they say in school, in elementary school. Are
punch
you
you.
in elementary school?
Very likely.
Tell the truth.
I think so. I concede the rest of my time, Senator. But I'm so glad I can't remember what I was gonna say.
Fuck.
Like I don't fush.
What have I done?
That's a huge reason why I'm like, yeah, I'm not sure I really want to share what this thing is yet. Is because, well, there's that, and there's a person who has become a part of the community who has put some very strange things into the community that I'm not really sure how I feel about yet. But I'll come back to that later. So you heard it here first. Evan is going to have a short story for you here in 9 minutes. It'll be a podcast exclusive until it isn't.
It's a Patreon exclusive.
I would love to do Patreon exclusives, but we don't even have Patreon yet. So
True.
Yeah. Well, family, I have to tell you, I think my Ambien is starting to kick in. Unfortunately, so is my Cialis. So I think we gotta go. I think we gotta wrap it up.
Yeah, I think the Great Flood is about to start anyways.
Yeah, Evan, would you like to wrap up for the beautiful people, since my mind is turning into shit pudding?
Yes, so don't do anything bad. Don't act on
Don't do anything
impulse. Don't yeah. If you're about to like do something you think might hurt someone's feelings, just think twice. Don't do that shit,
If you're thinking about stealing the Declaration of Independence, just remember that you're going to have to stab Nicolas Cage to do
That's
so.
right.
There's just no way around it. He's stolen it twice. He's stolen it once. He's stolen it twice. He's stealing it again. I think he's gonna die. You're gonna take the Declaration from Nicolas Cage.
That's right. That's all the caveats I think I have. All the warnings.
Yeah.
True.
I'm gonna eat a rock. Good night, people. Okay, bye.